Good morning. Steve Bedell, your eXp Realtor, coming to you from the Villages, Florida. Now, hey, I'm back in front of my whiteboard. You know, I've been doing my last few weeks at my computer and showing you some things and graphs that are online, and I felt, hey, I want to step back out in front of the camera. I feel like I'm missing everybody. Anyway, good to see you. And this morning, it's May 10th. I'm going to talk to you about some figures that are really quite alarming, I think, in the villages. And I think if you are a seller, you should pay attention because this will impact you quite a bit. And I think if you are a buyer, I think this is a wonderful time to buy. Now, you say, well, Steve, why do you say that? Because prices are still hanging pretty high, and interest rates are at 7% or so. So why is now a great time to buy? Well, let's talk about that. I'm going to show you why. And I'm going to use my notes here to go along. And what we're going to talk about is AL, active listings in the villages. So I'm going to show you some things here, and you tell me if this doesn't strike quite a pattern. So I'm going to get my notes here because I'm not a genius and I can't remember all of this stuff, okay? So here we go. We're going to start. I looked back through some of my videos and some of the figures that I did before. The only thing we're going to look at today is the amount of properties that are actively listed right now. Now remember, these are MLS properties, the properties of the villages. They got their own thing going. They don't mix. Anyway, but I'm going to go through some numbers here and how they've changed and how quickly they're changing, just to give you some idea. All right, so here we go. I went back to September 4th, 2023. At that time, there were 287 active listings on the market. And I can remember before that, being around the 250 number, about that. Okay, so we're going to step forward here. We're going to go to January 1st. Let's look at that. January 1st. How much time is that? We got 4 months. In 4 months, we went from 287 to 342 to 342. That's a difference of 55. Now, let's talk about why this happens first, of course. This is because there's an imbalance because more markets are coming on the market than are being sold. So that ratio is getting greater every single time. All right, so 55 homes. And that's in 4 months. Well, let's go to April 1st now, not too long ago. April 1st, we went to 443. Whoops, hang on. Come on. Jeez. I'm going to change that. April 1st, we went to 380. Okay, so 380. And how much time is that? In 3 months. Better keep me straight here. So that's 38 plus 38. In 3 months. That's 4 months. This is 3 months. So this staying about the same. But now this is where things get really interesting. A week ago, May 3rd, we went to 443. That's 1 month difference plus 63. Plus 63 in a month. 1 month. So what is happening here? I remember looking at it. I couldn't believe it. I can almost see the ticker changing when I go on my MLS and I see how many active properties that there are. 63 in a month. 3 months, 38. 4 months, 55. 1 month, 63. And I'll bet you're saying, wow, that's pretty good. Well, wait till you see this number. Now, May 10th. Today, 443 there. 475. 1 week. 32 new properties listed. 32 in a week. Or 32 more properties on the market. Because some of these ones that are supposed to be selling aren't selling. So 32 properties in a week, 475. I'll bet you, I took this figure maybe 2 hours ago. I'll bet you if I walk into my office and I take a look at things, I'll bet you that's gone up another 3 or so. Just in a couple of hours. So what's happening here? Well, it's pretty obvious. The reasons may be a little harder to explain, but we got a lot more properties for sale than we've ever had. And it's just booming, and they're just going up and up and up. This doesn't even include properties of the villages, so you know there's well over 1,000 properties for sale right now today in the village. It's between the two of them. So why is this? Well, part of it is the interest rate, 7%, the higher rates. I mean, that's only part of it. You got to remember 65% of the homes in the villages are sold with cash. By cash, no loans. So why does that 7% matter? Well, I want you to think about this. Most people that come to the village, in the villages, they're coming from Michigan, they're coming from New York, they're coming from New England like me. They're coming from all these other places. They got to sell their home there, and they have to sell that one to come down here. Do they have a problem up there? A lot of them don't. I talked to some friends of mine in other states up north, and they still have very hot markets selling. But once they sell that, they come down here and sell it. So what am I saying to you? Okay, sellers. Sellers, if you're a seller, you get, you need help, especially when I look at FSBOs now. That's FSBOs for sale by owner. When I look at people who are trying to sell property themselves right now, unless you got somebody lined up or made a deal with a friend or somebody, it's going to be really hard. It's hard enough to sell a property by yourself as it is, but in this market, when the realtors are even having a hard time selling properties, you're just asking for trouble. So if you're a seller, you have to put your property on the market, get yourself a good realtor, hopefully me, and listen to your realtor. Listen to what they tell you. Don't overprice it. Be flexible. Now, what if you're a buyer? If you are a buyer, this is great for you. Are you kidding? You've got all these properties on the market to pick from, and these sellers can't be all that choosy. If they want to sell their home, they better get it sold. So are they going to be a little more flexible in price and in terms? Wouldn't you be? You want that home sold? You better be willing to make some concessions. Unless you've got a super specific hot home that's going to sell in a few days, we still have a very high percentage of homes that have been on the market over 100 days. So, I know lately I've been talking a lot about the market and how many on the market, but look at this is exploding, the number of listings. So, anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Until next week, maybe we'll take a break from the listings and do something else, but this is big news. So that's why I'm telling you about it. Okay, until next time, bye now.